Good day! We are now on Module 4 for Quarter 2 of the 21st Century Literature of the Philippines and the World. The most essential learning competency in this course is do self and or peer assessment of the creative representation of a literary text based on rationalized criteria prior to presentation. After the lesson, you are expected to recognize the nature of assessment, create a personalized rubric in assessing a literary work, demonstrate understanding and appreciation of a literary text through close reading, create a blog highlighting your understanding on a literary text, produce a short video clip highlighting your created literary work, and evaluate a created literary work. For all the tasks, you will need a clean sheet of paper. So now, let's begin. Task 1. KWHL. In here, you will list down the things you know for the column of the letter K, the things that you want to learn for the column of the letter W. You indicate also how are you going to learn these things for the column on the letter H, and the things that you have already learned about assessing a literary work for the column of the letter L. Let's have task 2, creating new. You create a personalized rubric in assessing a specific literary work. You will use the scale 1 to 4 with at least 3 criterion. A sample of the table is provided in your module. Next is task 3, entitled Focus on your focus. Here, you will give your focus or your target in assessing a literary piece and the underlying reasons. In assessing a literary work, elements, guidelines, and tips should come together to better evaluate a work of art. In assessing a poem, for example, you will try to figure out the meaning of the poem. Remember that imagery is a common technique used by poets to give their meaning across. You look for symbols. You look at the poet's choice of words. You determine the voice and tone of voice of the poem. You determine if the poem has a storyline. You look for a rhyme scheme. You determine the poem's structure. And you determine the poem's type. Next is for your task 4. You will read, analyze, and assess. In here, you will read each question carefully and answer it briefly. Here are the tips in assessing a short story or a non-fiction piece. First, you break the story into 3 parts: the beginning, the middle, and end. Identify the following 5 elements of the short story: the plot, the character, goal and conflict, theme and setting. Third, the author's style. Fourth, the tone of the story. Fifth, you have to use the senses. Use of the senses. 6. Answer, do you like the story? And lastly, you need to answer, is it coherent? For your task 5, you read each statement carefully. Put fact if the statement is correct and bluff if it is not. Next is Task 6, Blog Trick. Write a short blog which highlights your key understanding and your learning on the poem Untitled, written by Rupi Kaur. After which, post it in your official Facebook group page with a hashtag Rupi Kaur Poetry. Attach an original illustration or drawing related to the poem. And then choose 2 from your friends or your classmates to critique your blog and post their assessment on the comment box section of your blog post. Their assessment will involve the content, organization of ideas, clarity of thoughts, and creativity. Next is Task 7. Write me your 6-word story. You will create a 6-word story based on the COVID-19 pandemic. You can capture an image in relevance to the topic and apply ICT skills on it. Post your output to our official Facebook group page. Task 8. Assess it. You look for a peer and let him or her evaluate your work using the rubrics provided for you as seen in your module. Task 9. Pluses, minuses, and interests. You identify and list down the positive and negative points of your created 6-word story and highlight what makes it interesting. Next is Task 10. Share your points. Here, you discuss what are the major points to be considered in assessing a literary work. What is also the advantage if you are being assessed by a peer and being an assessor of your own work. For your Task 11, uses your senses and write. Observe your surroundings. Watch news or read newspaper using your senses. And then write a 500-word essay. Next is Task 12. Rate my master work. You look for a partner and create a rubric. These rubrics will be used as you assess each other's work. The rubrics should contain the criteria and its scale. Task 13. Produce and assess. First, you produce a short video clip narrating and highlighting the literary work that you have written. Then, upload and post it to our official Facebook group page with a hashtag #MyLiteraryWork. And then, assess your short video clip with the use of a rubrics provided in your module. And your last task is Task 14. My, she. S, significant. H, human experience. You write a simple yet striking poem which mainly focuses on your experiences and challenge as a student. Then, post it to your official Facebook group page. After which, assess your own words use your own works using the rubrics provided again in your module. Just enjoy working your tasks. Feel free to contact your subject teacher for further clarifications. This is Neje Rodriguez, a senior high school teacher of Sibulan National High School, saying, God bless everyone.